So it's kind of like the next day. It seems like it's been like a week. I guess the new vaporizer just made me feel like time just flew. But so I basically want to make a new flashlight, but it's gonna be quite awkward. I gotta glue stuff and push a lot of. I've got something else um, important to do, so basically trying to put all this away just in case I'm going to repair a laptop or take out the hard drive and work on a laptop. So I've got to put some of these flashlights away and pretty much have a lot of nighttime cameras and flashlights. So these are the GoPros, and then this smartphone is actually for ordering on Amazon and stuff. These lights have batteries in it. This is empty. Um, this as well. It's got a really nice flash to it. It zooms in and out. This camera, but the battery doesn't uh, last that long. So I have this power bank, and then I'm also kind of relying on this. It's got a nice flash as a all around camera. It's just I'm kind of stuck at a point where as any camera with flash, I could just say that it's for nighttime, just because I have so many flashlights and um, but these GoPros are probably mainly for daytime. I've got two GoPros right here, um, and also these tablets. I'm gonna do there's there's a lot of stuff, but I'm not recommending that I'm gonna use these tablets just because it's quite big and everything like that. Um, and I have two of them. I really want to use these and they don't have flash, so but I really want to use those tablets for just a media player, um, things like that. Um, and so I've got this small handbag right here. I'm probably going to just put the cables in this one, and then I've got a solar panel and solar power bank and stuff like that, and putting and even this right here can be some type of this bag could be some type of. So I've got three different bags. Pete, everything I just mentioned is just having daytime cameras and nighttime for exploring. It's just really not that much to explore, especially if I'm not all set up with aquariums and a small workshop and stuff. It's really just um, hard work for one to really like this box. I'm gonna kind of put it on top of these tablets. I'm gonna actually use those for something more purposeful. Doesn't really matter, but they work pretty good. Things like that. And now I'm just going to clean up some of the lenses and glues and things. And I also have peroxide. What I'm gonna put in this box is actually mainly just the flashlights, and most of the flashlights kind of go inside of there. I also want to pay attention to um, the which flashlights have batteries in them because I don't want to really store them um, and things like that. And the way I glued these lenses, it's basically on the underside and things. Maybe I could just get away with just cleaning it off, but some of these flashlights do have batteries in them, so I've got to pay attention um, to what I have going on. So first off, just picking GoPros together. Uh, but I think I could put the GoPros in here just because some of the headlights and lamps and things, just mainly the cases. So I'm gonna just try to clean off a little bit. So I'm just putting a few items away just to keep them out of the way. You know, even this GoPro case and light. So far I've got you know to just basically put the stuff in a good spot. So I took off the flashlight and I put this on the side just so that things are a lot more organized, and then I could basically you know plan on a trip and things, and I could know where most of the items are. This is for the GoPro night light, and checking if there's batteries in there. So I've got most of the GoPro stuff out of the way. Now it's all up to the where I'm going to put the GoPros, and even the charging cable. I want to try to keep as much, and also the portable power bank right here um, should kind of stay nearby. It's just as I try to explain, people don't really, well, it's hard to explain when, people would rather see stuff, see what things are, but gotta make sure, like, there's a charging cable for this and stuff like that involved, so gotta turn this the other way, and then just keep this stored away. I might use this in a couple of months or two. Just really wanted to kind of review and organize first. It would be nice to have those batteries kind of. So that's zipped up, and then now I could just probably put the GoPros in there. I'm gonna clean off a few things. So I guess I'll put the charging cable up there, and I need to find a way to put like a smaller box on top for the GoPros. I don't want to just, but, and then I'll just have spare battery or something. These two flashlights are still going to go here. It's just I gotta remember I got batteries in them, and I have another flashlight that I'm gonna put in this. So what I'm gonna do is actually source out and get everything that I can, clear it up. It's quite a useful bag. So I've got a couple of flashlights and headlamps right here that technically have batteries. This one doesn't have a battery. This is for pretty much it's got a lens on it, but it's yeah. So I've got to put this with the what I'm packing. I think I see one right here. It's right in this. So I'm kind of use this cream cheese box. But before I do, I'm going to tape it up a little bit more. Alright, so it's decently taped up. Alright, so there's one GoPro. I'm going to probably have to make a spacer or something. Might be able to use the spare battery. Or even like these foam pieces. Let's go ahead and use these small, just for now. Yeah, just because I'm not really sure when I'm going to rebuild or build this super bright light or anything like that. So probably going to even keep this inside this, but I'll mention and even some flashlights and stuff. I think the less stuff that I have to rummage through, Here's a spare smartphone that is actually pretty good. It's pretty good just because it's unlocked, so I could kind of keep that, just putting everything like this. I could kind of see it all inside of this handbag. So I know you guys can't really see things that good for now. This is a mini telescope, which might be useful for just surveying and stuff. So I'm gonna put that nearby. Even this power pack and this other camera, it might be a pretty good reliable first camera. There's one or two different cameras. It's got a flash, so all these have flashes, but with the power bank and this phone as my main like exploring camera and stuff, isn't a bad combination. I just separate, and then I've got the spare headlight, so I'm you know inside of this pouch and stuff. I might remove this stuff and basically keep this on hand, but I kind of like it in this just for emergency lighting, for repairs and things like that. So clearing up a lot of this space. I also want to clear up everything just because when I'm repairing something, I'm going to have to use this space to put some of the spare parts or some of the tools and things. So I'm going to be clearing up a few things in this area just to keep myself organized enough. Some of the tools, but just going through some of the items and pour out a few things, which cables go to what. Then I could put them away, like this phone right here. So I put the small pocket camera right there, and then I put with the charging cable, as long as I've got the cables and stuff basically connected. So just taking care of a few things. There might be some cables in here, so I'm gonna put those to the side, just getting this stuff, trying to put the screen, or putting whatever I can figure out, like just putting things together, the accessories, trying to protect, I guess, with the screen not facing outwards, things like that. And testing and putting on, I could pretty much put on these covers on these flashlights. So, and there are some projects and stuff, but I just want to organize and situate a few things, use up the batteries as much as I can. And also, I don't really need so many flashlights or anything, but I use them for different projects. I'm even wearing a headlight right now as I'm recording. So I'm going to add, first I'm going to clean it off a little bit with peroxide, and then I'm going to add some of this, it's basically coconut oil, but I also put like sunscreen, and then I put sanitizer. So I sprayed on some peroxide like this, and then I think I rubbed it on, and I think some of it already came off, so I don't really need to use the oil to loosen up any glue. Just because the glue that I use to coat the plastic is actually wood glue, and it starts to kind of break down pretty hard with rubbing alcohol, and kind of really see a lot of the flaws inside uh, for using it, but it was pretty much just a glue adhesive, just to give the plastic like the more fluid Gorilla Glue to really keep this waterproof. So yeah, these are my bicycle lights.